Hi, Dawn. How are you?
Wednesday on the news at 6.
3 years since I first met you?
Yeah.
What has changed in 3 years?
A story about making the most out of a second chance.
I know for a fact people could change. You know what I'm saying? Looking at change, right, Joe?
I've seen it. I've seen people change their lives.
From decades in prison to a national honor, it's a KSAT follow-up, 3 years in the making.
What's it mean to you to be able to say all of that?
I want to help guys that was like me.
It's Wednesday on the news at 6.
You can't wait to see that story. Okay, vocational training is seeing an increase in interest, especially in welding.
And so that growing interest prompted Palo Alto College to make a big investment. Machado Pope takes us inside the college's new and bigger lab that opened just in time for the new school year.
Good job with that.
The demand is high.
I have customers calling all the time looking for welders.
We're gonna fire again, fire.
Yves Fanfel is the lead welding instructor at Palo Alto College and says that demand is across different industries around Texas and here in San Antonio.
Right now, the oil field and the car industries, really it's the battery side. So right now there's a lot of places that are opening up that are trying to refurbish batteries for all these Teslas and these other. JCB is coming to town. They're going to be hiring somewhere around 200 manual welders.
Luis Fernandez, the dean of professional programs, says school officials saw the demand and took action.
We're willing to invest money to expand our welding program.
Palo Alto's welding lab initially had 26 booths, but it reached capacity so fast, the school stepped in with $1 million investment, and now there's 46 booths.
Expansion started in 2024, and the larger lab opened at the start of the fall semester.
It's a great investment. Our students, now we have about 45 students per cohort that we can service, where the additional $1 million was invested into this program.
The expansion is allowing even more students like Sandra Gomez to get their hands-on experience to hone their skills and get exposure to what the industries are looking for.
A lot of robotic welding, which is pretty cool. Like, we advance so much in technology. I love it.
Gomez says the investments and efforts put into PAC's welding program is helping her walk away with
certifications and a welding associates.
To not only make a career, but to become one of Palo Alto's future welding instructors. Machado Pope, KSAT 12 News.
The KSAT also did some digging to find out the salary of a welder and what they can expect. And according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, it's anywhere from $50,000 to $75,000 a year. Also on your screen are some median salaries for other trades. And as you can see, the numbers are pretty similar. All of this data is from 2024. So yes, you see it. It's a demand that's needed, and it's good there's so much interest in it as well.
All right, Justin, as I was making my way into work this morning very early, I saw some traffic along I-10.
Yeah, there was a closure earlier, Patty. That was due to a wreck along 410 and I-10, but that has since been rectified, so everything's good out there. We really have smooth sailing, and we like to see that on a Wednesday morning. We'll look at some of the major freeways here. This is I-10 at the Y, which, of course, we know on Monday was a real mess. Now it looks much better. I-10 at West Avenue, good here. Obviously, it's very early on in the commute, but for those of you who are headed out the door right now, it is good all around town. The one exception is going to be I-35, and if you travel I-35 every day, you know the drill. There's going to be some construction here, and it's going to slow you down a little bit, especially on the inbound lanes there, right as you come through Selma and the Schertz area. But the rest of San Antonio looks good. And out on the roads this morning, Mr. Alex Gomez. Let's check in with him and see how things are going out there. How you doing, Alex?
Yeah, I think it's perfect out here, Justin. Things are great coming down from the east side, 35 southbound. This is coming towards the 281 interchange. And even driving conditions are great. Dry roads this morning, but I do hear that rain's coming, Justin.
Oh, it is, Alex. We're excited about it. It's good to see that it's in the forecast. And, you know, I think timing-wise, the impacts when it comes to, say, street flooding and that sort of thing are going to be mainly overnight Friday, which could work out in our favor. We shall see, but that's the way things are looking right now. Outside, 69 degrees at the airport, 68 New Braunfels, 70 in Converse, 61 Boerne. These numbers are far more comfortable than they were yesterday. You're not walking outside into just all of that humidity that was in place. That is gone, at least for the time being, and we still have a northeasterly wind at about 7. So as you plan out your day, 78 noontime, 84 2 o'clock, we should reach a high right around 86. Yesterday we are at 90. So we shave off 4 or 5 degrees today thanks to yesterday's front. Now, the low humidity is going to be short-lived. Dew points start to rise as we get into tonight. This is 4 p.m., 7 p.m. Still pleasant, but we see the dew points starting to nose up a little bit. And then by tomorrow morning, it turns muggy. I think we could see some patchy fog on your Thursday morning and certainly some clouds, at least to start. Here's the next big thing. We're watching an area of low pressure, and this is the water vapor imagery, by the way. It allows us to see the spins in the atmosphere and where the moisture is. And we can see there is moisture in a spin right here off the coast of California. This is the system that is going to be working towards Texas and finally giving us a rain chance that we've been missing for so very long. So let me walk you through the futurecast here. This thing slowly makes its way across the Rocky Mountains, and by Friday morning, we've got storms across North Texas. We got storms in West Texas. For us, probably just cloudy, maybe a shower. Because again, the real action is not going to start until I think overnight Friday. This is 5 p.m. Friday. Yeah, maybe a shower or two. But you see this line of storms developing out in West Texas. This is what's going to move in our direction, and I think we're going to get a line of storms, some of which could be strong, some of which could put down some gusty winds, but most importantly, bringing the entire area, at least, some rain. This is midnight Saturday. Rain moves across the area. We still could see some storms even into very early Saturday morning. So a couple things to keep in mind here with the timing. This could affect Saturday morning sports. There could be some, again, high water on some of the roads. And even into Saturday afternoon, we still could see a few showers. This is upper level low, kind of lingers, although rain chances will be lower. Here's kind of your need to know. So when will we see the rain? Friday night into early Saturday. How much? Generally 1 to 2 inches. A lucky few could see a little bit more than that. Impact, loud storms Friday night, so you may not get as much good sleep as you'd hope. Some strong storms are possible. And there will be some street flooding, I think, going into Saturday morning. So these are all things you want to keep in mind. Let's put it all together for you. 89 Thursday, 89 Friday. Breezy, small chance of showers. The best odds come overnight Friday into early Saturday, as we said. But I'll still leave some rain chances in there on Saturday, and with some clouds, it'll be fairly cool. 81 Saturday. 86 clearing on Sunday. And then we got some cooler weather showing up next week with a stronger front. Okay, my question this morning, I'm not a Swiftie, but my daughters are, and they gave me the inspiration to ask this question. What best describes an opalite sky? And if you're asking why I'm asking that, it's because it's in a very popular Taylor Swift song. She mentions this. So is it black and starry, clear blue and sunny, iridescent, or rainbow?
I can't sing, so I can't sing it to you, but I know that the beat is in my head.
Yes, it is a very catchy tune. Vote, especially if you're a Swiftie, and let us know what you think.
I couldn't get this if my life depended on it. So, Patty, I'm leaning on you today. Here we go.
All right, let me think about it.
5:21 right now, guys. 69 degrees outside.
From a $3,000 folding iPad that's years away to YouTube's new weapon against deep fakes. Up next, the future of tech is getting stranger, smarter, and a lot more expensive.
On today's Tech Bites, the debut of OpenAI's browser. Apple users can give ChatGPT Atlas a try. It integrates ChatGPT within the browser, allowing you to engage with the chatbot while surfing the web. Versions for Windows and Android will be out soon. Apple's plan to release a large foldable iPad is reportedly facing hurdles that could delay its debut. The prototype is rumored to have an 18-inch display when unfolded, but Bloomberg says concerns include the price, possibly just shy of $4,000. And YouTube is launching a tool that gives people more protection over their likeness. It's meant to combat unwanted deep fakes and remove them. Now, for now, it can only address when a person's face has been modified with AI. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
All right, time right now, 5:25. Happening later today, Comal ISD is hosting its annual college, career, and military fair from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Davenport High School will welcome about 70 recruiters from colleges, businesses, trade schools, and military branches.
All right, 5:25 right now, 69 degrees outside. Early voting underway. This year's ballot packed with big decisions, including property tax relief propositions, that could lower your tax bill. We're going to break it down, what you need to know before you vote.
Have you kind of seen there's a little bit of a price difference between, picking up curbside as opposed to going in and getting it in the store?
Oh, absolutely.
And what started as a pandemic convenience is now a weekly must-have for one San Antonio family. But is curbside really saving them money or just time? The price check that might change your shopping habits coming up at 6 a.m.
And coming up on 5:30 on this hump day. Again, thanks so much for waking up with us on GMSA. We've got a lot to get to today.
Yeah, but the first thing everybody's watching right now, I know you're paying attention, is the potential for rain.
Yes.
We've been waiting for it, right?
Oh my gosh, yes. My rain gauge is so dusty and nasty. It needs to be washed out, it needs to be used. And I think we're going to get a chance to do that on Friday as some storms come in. So sunrise this morning, 7:40. Sunset will be at 6:56. We're looking at about 11 hours of daylight. Our sunset, getting much earlier now, and then we get the time change coming up on November 2nd. So, the days being shorter, it does feel a little more like fall in that sense, but we need the weather to cooperate too. And it feels a little bit better today. We'll get temperatures in the 60s this morning, and then by noontime, 78. We'll make our way up to 85 at 3 o'clock, 86 at 4 p.m. That will be our high temperature today. So not as bad as yesterday, but yes, we do have rain chances to talk about. And it's Friday night, really, that we're focusing in on now. That is a time frame in which we could see some strong storms, some gusty winds, and maybe even a little bit of street flooding. We'll talk about how much rain you can expect coming up in just a couple minutes.
This morning, we got a man who is dead after being hit by a train. It happened near the San Antonio airport last night. Well, San Antonio police say that the man was walking on the train tracks when he got trapped on a bridge over the tracks. And the train struck him, and he was pronounced dead at the scene.
Happening later this morning, 16 families have been waiting to hear one word: guilty. It's a story we've been following since February 2024. They bought cemetery headstones for their loved ones from Angelic Monuments owner Elena Moreno. She stole around $50,000 from them, but never delivered the headstones. After multiple attempts to contact Moreno and more than a dozen families coming forward, police arrested Moreno in March 2024 and charged her with felony theft. Then just last week, on October 14th, Elena Moreno pled guilty in front of a judge and said the victims she stole from, who Moreno will have to pay back. Moreno has until her sentencing on December 9th to pay each victim back.
In Denver Heights, city officials met with residents last night to hear their thoughts on public safety concerns. The city says that the top 911 calls in Denver Heights generally hang-up calls requested for an officer to patrol by a general disturbance call. Now, residents who attended the meeting said that the main issues that they see are loose and dangerous dogs on the streets. Well, Maria Vargas, the director of the city's Integrated Community Safety Office, says that these meetings are helpful for her team to hear what residents have to say.
So it also helps us to say, like they communicated, people don't call about stray dogs anymore. And so the city should try to encourage residents to make those calls and try to explain how they are taken care of back at 311 and with ACS.
So if you see something, you need to say something and be on the lookout for a good neighbor engagement meeting in your neighborhood. City is looking to hear from residents on their public safety concerns. 5:32 right now. We are in early voting for the November election. And when voters hit the polls, they won't just find the two Bexar County propositions that, if passed, will provide funds for the Frost Bank Center and a much hoped for downtown arena. But there is also 17 constitutional amendments. Among those amendments, Proposition 11 is one of a handful of propositions that tackle property taxes. Specifically, Prop 11 would let lawmakers raise a homestead exemption, which would limit how much of a home's value can be taxed to pay for public schools for elderly or disabled homeowners to $60,000. Now, right now, that exemption is $10,000. The state will fill that funding gap to cover whatever public school revenues schools lose if this proposition passes. Another issue is the Texas legislature has been trying to address in the last couple of sessions is property tax relief. Now, this past one is no exception, with a number of propositions to lower that Texans pay. Now, Proposition 13 would increase the residents' homestead exemption from ad valorem taxation by $40,000. What that means is that up to $140,000 in value cannot be taxed to pay for public schools. And we have more information on the amendment propositions along with our other election coverage, sample ballots, information on when and where you can vote at ksat.com/vote. Early voting runs through October 31st, or Election Day, November the 4th.
All right, timer now 5:33. Here's your morning headlines. President Donald Trump is meeting with NATO Secretary General at the White House today. The discussion comes as Europe works with the Trump administration to find an end to the ongoing war in Ukraine. The meeting comes after Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky met with Trump last week. Trump and Zelensky previously talked about the possibility of the U.S. giving Ukraine Tomahawk missiles. But after that meeting, Zelensky said his country would not be receiving the long-range missiles. It's a game a lot of kids play, and this morning, Florida officials have launched a criminal investigation into the popular gaming platform Roblox. The state accuses the company of failing to protect children from inappropriate content and online predators. Investigators say some predators have used the platform's virtual currency to manipulate minors into sharing explicit images. Roblox denies the allegations, calling them a misunderstanding of how its platform works. The company says its ban image sharing, filters personal information, and is rolling out age estimation technology to better protect users.
You hear it, Muertos Fest happening this weekend, Friday through Sunday. It's free and open to the public. And if you're not able to make it or you just want to see it again from another perspective, we're going to be airing a special road rebroadcast of the event Wednesday, October the 29th at 8 p.m. Ernie Zuniga and our very own Sarah Acosta, also it's SA Live's Jen Tobias Strusky, are the host. It will be filled with stories behind the altars, musical performances, and a procession, and so much more. Down San Antonio is expected to be crowded this weekend with both Muertos Fest and Paul McCarthy performing at the Alamo Dome on Saturday. So before you worry about parking, VIA can take you there for free this Saturday from 3 to 9 p.m. VIA offering park and ride services at the locations listed on your screen. Return trips will run all the way to midnight, and bus service is free for everyone on Saturday in honor of Make a Difference Day. Then on Sunday, bus fares resume, and only 2 locations will be offering park and ride services. Park and ride fares, $2.60 for a round trip. Cheaper fares available for students and military. Now, trips to events will run from noon to 7, and return trips will run until 11.
All right, that's some good information. It may be something you want to, use because Uber and Lyft are going to be a little more expensive if you want to take that downtown. But parking's going to be at a premium with those 2 big events going on. You know that traffic downtown will be, there will be a lot of it Saturday night especially. All right, look at some of the TransGuide cameras here. It has been smooth sailing all morning. I-10 at Probant. I mean, we have not had any issues, knock on wood. I hope it stays that way. If you're heading out the door right now, you're not going to find much at all. Other than we do have a slowdown, and this is construction related, as you might imagine, here along I-35 between Roy Richard and Evans Road for the most part. If you're coming inbound, things slow a little bit because construction has some lanes taken away there. But that, again, is really the only problem we're detecting on our maps. Let's see if Alex Gomez is detecting any issues. What do you see, sir?
Yeah, no problems detected so far, Justin. I just made it to the 410-281 interchange over here by the airport, and we are still full speed limit, Justin.
Thanks, sir. We'll go outside with live cam now. It is 5:37, 69 degrees. Pretty comfortable morning. We'll see temperatures slip down a few more degrees. Hey, we got a tropical storm now in the Caribbean. Winds are at 50 miles per hour. This is Melissa. We're going to show you where she's headed coming up.
Get ready, a Spurs fan. Can the Silver and Black snap that 6-year playoff drought? Larry Ramirez in Dallas this morning, and we're going to hear from him, from the alien himself, Victor Wembanyama.
Plus, the holidays are creeping up on us. We'll tell you where in San Antonio an old toy store is coming back for the season to help get you stocked up.
So far, we've been driving crash-free around the city, but I'm making my rounds around the areas, and I'll let you know coming up on GMSA.
544, welcome back. We got the Spurs in Dallas ahead of their season opener tonight, and former UConn greats Stephon Castle and Paige Beckers took the opportunity to meet up and pose with their respective Rookie of the Year titles. You see it right there. So there's a first of two players from the same college in the same season. In San Antonio, hoping to break their 6-year playoff drought. Reported from Dallas to get us ready for tip-off is our very own sports director, Larry Ramirez.
Good morning, San Antonio. You know what it is, the Mavericks versus the Spurs right out of the gate. How awesome is that? It's a Texas team versus a Texas team featuring two of the bright young players in the NBA, and Victor Wembanyama and Cooper Flagg. So Wemby is entering his third NBA season, and he's definitely a man on a mission. From training with monks over the summer to packing on some extra weight, Wemby is ready to help the Spurs in their 6-year-long playoff drought. He's the favorite to win Defensive Player of the Year, and don't be surprised if he joins the top of the MVP conversation. Now, Flagg is only 18, and he still has to prove himself. But from Summer League to the preseason, he's definitely put on a show since the Mavs took him #1 overall. Wemby was asked about Flagg and if he studied him ahead of tonight's game.
I haven't really studied, but seen lots of highlights, obviously. Have always loved the intensity. And, I think it takes some humility to play with such intensity in an era where for young players, it's cool to be nonchalant, you know what I mean?
He's a dynamic athlete with a second-to-none level of competitiveness that sets a tone defensively and is also, multifaceted on the offensive end. So he's pretty good, and looking forward to seeing him continue to grow in this league.
And the Mavericks have beaten the Spurs in 2 straight season openers. In San Antonio, they want to change that tonight. All right, that's all from Dallas. Let's send it back to you in San Antonio.
All right, Larry. So you already know tonight the Spurs and the Mavs meet inside American Airlines Center for an 8:30 tip-off. Got Darren Fox, Jeremy Sohan, Landy Waters, the third going to be ruled out. But, hey, it's going to be a good game. And, again, they're starting off strong so far, Justin.
Man, I'm pumped.
They're starting off, man. It's a good season so far.
It's funny because you guys mentioned earlier, it feels like the season just ended and now it's back.
Yeah.
But this is the time of year. It's what we call the sports sweet spots. You got the World Series, basketball starts, you got college football, NFL. It's all going. And I love it. I love this time.
Not a lot of stuff getting done at home on the weekends.
Nope. Yeah. But I digress. Speaking of the weekend, I'm glad you brought that up because we're going to get some closures up on the northwest side. 604 and I-10. And if you travel up there, live up there, you know the drill. This happens just about every weekend, it feels like. As we go outside with TransGuide here, we have been seeing just good conditions this morning. No issues whatsoever. Of course, it's still pretty early on in the commute, but at least we're off to a good start. 90 at Medio Creek. Looking good there. We are starting to see the volumes pick up a little bit. Same at I-10 and Probant. Let's go to the map here very quickly. And the northeast side, which we talked about earlier, there's still some delays there. And I'll take you now to the northwest side. We do still have some closures this morning along I-10, but they're generally pretty minor. Now, this weekend, we are getting word that they may close down 1604 West for a bit. These are the kind of the typical weekend closures as they work on that interchange there at I-10 and 1604. Okay, let's go out to Alex and see if it's still smooth sailing where he is. How's it looking, Alex?
Yeah, it's been pretty smooth over here on the northeast side. Check this out. This is 35 southbound in between Thousand Oaks and Topperwine, and right now this area is free of construction. So I'll send it back to you. Go Spurs, go! And like you say, Justin, we're gonna shock the world.
I've only been saying that for 5 years now, but really this year, I mean, we have such a great team. I'm so excited about it, and I can't wait to watch those guys play tonight. All right, here is Melissa. She is a tropical storm newly formed. We've been talking about the potential of this development for a couple days now, but this is a big system, covers a lot of real estate here in the Caribbean, and this is moving west-northwest at about 7 miles per hour. So who is in the line of fire with this, so to speak? And there's a couple places I want to point out, and that is Jamaica and parts of Haiti. Now, as this system slowly, and I do mean slowly, eases off to the north, could become a Category 1 hurricane, and places like Jamaica and Haiti could take on not only a lot of rain, but a lot of gusty winds too. This could go as high as Category 2 hurricane. Really it's not going to affect the mainland of the United States, but if you're traveling, say, to the Caribbean or anything like that, please know that this very much could be a problem for, again, places like Jamaica, Haiti, and even Cuba. All right, outside here in San Antonio, 69 at the airport, 68 in New Braunfels, 70 in Converse. We got northeasterly winds this morning that continue to usher in some fairly dry air, and it just feels good for the moment. We'll see temperatures drop a little bit more this morning, and then we'll rebound into the 80s today. It says 89 there, but I think more on the order of 86, 87 here in San Antonio. All right, let's look at the futurecast. So we do get clouds returning tomorrow, and then we'll get some sun tomorrow afternoon. But I'm going to fast forward now to Friday morning. We start off cloudy. We'll see some showers and storms across North Texas and West Texas. But it's as we get into Friday night, this is 5 p.m., where we start to see a couple showers. Still, I think the storms hold off until after sunset on Friday. So Friday night football could be okay. I know we got Muertos Fest going on this weekend too. Friday evening plans. I think for the most part we'll be all right. It's overnight Friday where these storms start to roll in. This is midnight, and we may see a fairly robust line of storms coming in, some of which could be strong and could produce some heavy rain too. And that goes all the way really through Saturday morning before we get a chance to clear out. Now, this particular model wants to redevelop some action Friday evening. I'm a little less sold on that, but there is still a chance we can see a few more showers and certainly some clouds on Saturday. So here's kind of your bottom line need to know when it comes to the rain. Friday night into early Saturday, that's when you can expect it. Generally 1 to 2 inches. A lucky few may see more than that. Impacts will be loud storms Friday night, so you may not get good sleep. And there could be a couple strong storms overnight, which we'll be here to let you know if that is the case. Also, some street flooding possible, and this would mainly be an issue, of course, Saturday morning. But if it's dark out there, you know, some of these roads, we know the ones that can flood around here. We want to be super careful Friday night going into very early Saturday. So 89 tomorrow, 89 Friday. There's your 60% chance of rain Friday night, 60% chance of storms mainly. And then 81 Saturday, quite a bit of cloud cover. We'll go 86 Sunday, clearing. And then a stronger front next week that could knock down temperatures into the 70s for highs. That's not a typo. Sounds nice, right? Okay, let's go to Just Ask Justin. And the inspiration for this question is Taylor Swift. And I am not a Swiftie, but I do like this song. If you've heard it, Opalite. Thank you, Patty. So what best describes an opalite sky? Is it black and starry, clear blue and sunny, iridescent, or rainbow? We got votes for all of them. You can go to KSAT.com/polls, Kenny QR code. My Swifties, weigh in.
See, this is how much of a Swiftie I'm not. She played the song and I've already forgotten it. So I don't know. I'm gonna lean on you about it. Look at us. See, 5:51, y'all. 69 degrees outside.
All right, listen up. Toys R Us is back in. It's in San Antonio just in time for the holiday season. We'll show you when and where next. Welcome back. 5:54 right now. This morning, Metro Health is hosting a free flu vaccine clinic at the Wheatley Heights Sports Complex. The clinic runs from 8 a.m. until 2 p.m. and it's open to everyone with no appointment needed while supplies last. Whether you're a parent looking to protect your little ones or just you want to keep yourself safe, children 6 months and older can get vaccinated.
October, also Domestic Violence Awareness and Prevention Month, and the San Antonio Police Department and Metro Health teaming up for a special community event to take a stand against domestic violence from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. You can drop by any of the substations listed on your screen to meet police officers and Metro Health crisis advocates to learn about the resources and support available for survivors and families dealing with domestic violence. Now, while the spooky season is well underway, the holidays are creeping up on us, and an old toy store is coming back for the season to help you get stocked up. And we're talking about Toys R Us announced that they're going to be opening up a number of stores nationwide, including one inside North Star Mall, and it'll be the only one in our area, at least for now. The announcement said more stores could also open up throughout the holiday season. We emailed a spokesperson for Toys R Us on when we can expect the stores to open, but so far haven't heard back yet, but I'm pretty sure that's something that you and your boys are looking forward to, huh, Patty?
It's just a fun experience to go into the store and see all the toys, the possibilities that they're not going to get.
I love it. Okay, 5:56 right now, 69 outside.
Okay, later today, a court will decide the future of a woman on probation for a hit and run. We're going to share the family's frustration and what's at stake in this highly anticipated hearing.
Plus, the future of the controversial Guajolote Ranch wastewater facility on the line as the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality will make a decision that could impact San Antonio's drinking water.
All right, taking a live look outside. We're going to keep you updated on any changes on the driving conditions this morning. We'll be right back.